Home Hardware Building Center starting gate moving up for the first race. It's post time. Race number 1 of the afternoon has John Snow, Lady in Paradise, Arnold the Paperboy, Mama Try, Jonas Starr, Ava Jeanski, and put it on the card. They're off and pacing. Arnold the Paperboy, Lady in Paradise. Those two quickest off the gate to battle for the early lead. Crossing over, Mama Tried third. Far outside in 4. Here's Jonas Starr down at the rail. That is John Snow as they move by the opening 8th into the backstretch. Emerging with the lead, that's Lady in Paradise. Arnold the Paperboy sets the pocket. Third at the rail is John Snow. Mama Tried is the 4th one outside, advancing in 5. That's Ava Jeanski. Inside, Jonas Starr has found a seat in 6. And the 7th and trailing one has put it on the card. They arrive at the opening quarter with Lady in Paradise dictating the early terms. Quickly now coming to call on the outside. Here's Ava Jeanski charging up, looking to take over the lead as they approach the 3/8. Arnold the Paperboy is racing at the rail in 3. Then John Snow steps to the outside from 4. The quarter was reached in 32 seconds flat. They continue off the top turn, entering the stretch now. First time as they approach the half. Lady in Paradise being engaged by Ava Jeanski as they approach the halfway point. Up on the outside, second over is John Snow, locked up in the box. That's Arnold the Paperboy. They race on past the halfway point as they continue into the lower turn. It's still Lady in Paradise in control. Ava Jeanski braving it first over. Inside, racing third is Arnold the Paperboy. Then Mama Tried is the 4th one. John Snow gapped out in 5. Now beginning to pick it up on the outside as they race into the backstretch. Final time, the half 103 and 2. They approach 3/4. Ava Jeanski on the outside, taking over the lead. Lady in Paradise controls the rail, trying to battle back second. Off the rail third goes Arnold the Paperboy. Then Mama Tried is 4th. John Snow the outside from 5. They race now to the 7/8. Ava Jeanski half a length is the lead on the inside. Lady in Paradise is fighting back outside. Arnold the Paperboy with cover is well spotted third as they race past the 7/8. John Snow once again kicking in on the outside, going 3 high. 134 and 1/3. They turn for home. Lady in Paradise has reclaimed the lead as they straighten out for the stretch drive. Up on the outside and closing in is Arnold the Paperboy. Down the stretch, it's Lady in Paradise. Arnold the Paperboy on the outside. Lady in Paradise holding on to win it. Second is Arnold the Paperboy, and up for third, that's Mama Tried. Fighting back, the first race winner, number 2, Lady in Paradise, 2-year-old bay filly by Western Paradise, out of the McCardle Dam at Lady McCardle. Owned by Dave and Craig Carey, along with Ron Garland, trained and driven by Dave Carey. Lady in Paradise in 2:07. Here is the official rundown of the first race. Number 1, John Snow. 6, 2, Lady in Paradise, the winner. 3, Arnold the Paperboy, second. 4, Mama Tried, third. 5, Jonah Star, 7. 6, Eva Jeanski, fourth. And 7, Put It on the Card, was fifth. Quarter in 32 seconds. The half 103 and 2. 3 quarters in 134 and 1. And the mile in 2:07. From the top, your card is 6-1-2, 3-7-4, 5 in the bottom. 2-3-4 try in the first race, $500, $8.60. The 2-3 exactor, $119.10. Coming up in races 2 and 3, the early daily double, no program changes. Second race post in 8 minutes. Please note the judges have downgraded the racing surface this afternoon to heavy with a 4-second allowance. Entries coming out of the racetrack for the second race. Race 2, a $4,500 claiming event. Number 1 is Shadow Phil. Paul Angel driving for Devin and Chuck O'Connor. The CC Stables, the owners, Kirk Paris driving from Post 2, Dusty Lane, Ms. Vicky. The H Powerful is the 3 on Hugh McKay, Mark Webby driving. For Post 4 is Always Reese, owned by Andrea and Ryder Matthews Renison, Walter Chevrolet driving. Dale Spence will pilot the 5 Mortal Kombat for Andrea and Ryder Matthews Renison. And the 6 Beach Fighter A, Todd Tranks for Debbie Ellis. Post time for the second in 6 minutes. Only 3 minutes, 3 to post time. Now less than 2 minutes, less than 2. Final call at the windows, less than 1 minute. Second race entries moving up behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. It's post time. Second race, top of the stretch, Shadow Phil, Dusty Lane, Miss Vicky, PH Powerful, Always Race, Mortal Kombat, and Beach Fighter A. They're off and pacing on the outside. Beach Fighter A, quick off the gate, looking to grab the early lead. Out the rail, Shadow Phil comes away second. Looking for a seat out the rail in 3, that's PH Powerful. Crossing over into the 4th spot is Mortal Kombat. Then back in 5 is Dusty Lane, Miss Vicky. The early trailer is Always Race. They turn down the backstretch first time as they head to the opening quarter, and it's Beach Fighter A taking charge. Out the rail, giving way, is Shadow Phil to sit in the pocket second, followed closely third by PH Powerful. Looking at it from 4 is Mortal Kombat. Then back in 5, as they continue into the turn, is Dusty Lane, Miss Vicky. And still at the back of the field is Always Race. No change in positions as they continue past the 3/8 and off the top turn. Opening quarter was 29 1/5 second. Into the stretch now as they approach the halfway marker. Beach Fighter A continues to chart the path up on the outside. Now attacking uncovered second is Mortal Kombat. Staying in the pocket, Shadow Phil third. Gap in the cover outside is Dusty Lane, Mix Vicky in 4. Fifth inside is PH Powerful, and at the back Always Race as they dip into the lower turn on their way to the 5/8. Beach Fighter A the one to catch out there by a length and a half, with Shadow Phil getting a perfect journey second. Grinding it out first over is Mortal Kombat third. Inside racing fourth, PH Powerful. Then back to Always Race, and now trailing Dusty Lane, Ms. Vicky the half a minute, 3/5 on down the backside as they approach 3/4. And out front is Beach Fighter A, still a length and a half to the good, with Shadow Phil second. Up at the inside, a third now is PH Powerful. Mortal Kombat is all done, backing off fourth, forcing Always Race 3 wide from 5. Dusty Lane, Vicky is sixth. They 3/4 in 1:31 and 4. They move past the 7/8 Beach Fighter A, now to be challenged by the pocket sitting Shadow Phil as they turn down the lane now for the final time, and Shadow Phil looks to take over the lead on the inside. Beach Fighter A up on the far outside, and closing in is PH Powerful. It's Shadow Phil. Shadow Phil up to win it. Second is PH Powerful. Third, that's Beach Fighter A. Now back in the winner's enclosure is the second race winner, number 1 Shadow Phil, 4-year-old brown gelding by Shadow Play. Owned by Devin and Chuck O'Connor, trained by Devin and driven by Paul Angel. Shadow Phil, 203 4/5. Here's how they finished in the second race. Number 1 Shadow Phil was the winner. 2 Dusty Lane Ms. Vicky 6, 3 PH Powerful second, 4 Always Reese fourth, 5 Mortal Kombat fifth, and 6 Beach Fighter Ray third. The quarter was 29 1, the half a minute 3/5, 3/4 131 4, and the mile in 203 4/5. Rechecking from the top 162 453. 136 try in the second race, $219.50. The $1 1-3 exactor, $88.20. Upcoming in the third race, no program changes. Race 3 features Superfecta wagering. The carryover in today's Superfecta, $206. Post time for the third in 8 minutes. Here are the starters in the third race. Number 1 is Kendall Courageous, owned and driven by Clayton Stevens. The 2 is Victonians Derby, Bruno McCollum driving for Paisley McCollum. The 3 is Dinger 2, owned by Sherry McKinnon with Henry Smallwood at the lines. Hilliard Graves will drive number 4, Scotian Lass, owned by Don Ellis Abbott. The 5 is Mock Believe, leased by Christina Gillis and Cody Softic, Paul Angel driving. The 6 is Logan, owned by Dave Settle, Wallace Cameron, and Anthony Repshaw. Kirk Paris up. Ernie Laughlin in charge of 7 Western Scott for Logan Laughlin and Arlene Gillis. And the 8 Super Shadow, Tammy McKay for Ozzie and Emmons McKay. Post time in 6 minutes. Only 3 minutes, 3 to post time. Final call down to 1 minute. Third race entries now moving up in behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. It's post time. Third race of the afternoon has Kendall Courageous, Pictonian's Derby, Dinger 2, Scotian Lass, Mock Believe, Low Logan, Western Scott, and Super Shadow. They're off and pacing with Scotian Lass getting the first call. Out second is Dinger 2. Up on the outside third. Low Logan. Then Kendall Courageous out the rail is fourth. Coming away in the 5 spot is Pictonian's Derby. Crossing over from 6th. That's Western Scott. Then back in 7 is Super Shadow. The early trailer is Mock Believe. Into the backstretch. First time is the head of the opening quarter. And on top, it's Dinger 2. Outside, Scotian Lass trying to press on by as they move past the opening quarter. Parked to the outside with cover is Low Logan. Racing along in 3. Kendall Courageous is the 4th one. And back to Pictonian's Derby, sitting in the 5 spot. 6th is Western Scott. Then Super Shadow, and sitting at the back of the field is Mock Believe. 29-2 was the quarter. They continue by the 3/8 as they race off the top turn on the outside. That's Scotian Lass continuing to battle for the lead against Dinger 2 as they approach the halfway point. In behind them, that's Kendall Courageous enjoying the trip third outside. Parked and gapped in the cover in 4 is Low Logan, 5th inside for Pictonian's Derby. Then back in 6, Western Scott, followed by Super Shadow. And starting up from the back of the field is Mock Believe. They were past the half in 59 4/5 seconds on down the backstretch. Final time, Dinger 2 has now opened up a 2.5, 3-length lead. Dropping into the pocket is Scotian Lass. Kendall Courageous is now third. Off the rail in 4 comes Pictonian's Derby. 5th and circling up 3 high is Mock Believe. Then Western Scott, followed by Low Logan, and at the back of the field is Super Shadow. They race on over to the 7/8 and with the lead. Dinger 2 closing in is Pictonian's Derby second. Outside Kendall Courageous is now third, dropping back Scotian last. 1:31 3/3. Inquiry sign is posted. They turn for home and it's Dinger 2, but taking aim on the outside. Pictonian's Derby on down the stretch they come. It's Dinger 2, Pictonian's Derby on the outside. Mock Believe the late move on the far outside, but it's Dinger 2 to win it. Finishing a second is Pictonian's Derby. Mock Believe closes for third. Inquiry in the third race. Judges looking at the racing action past the 3/4 involving one Kendall Courageous. Fighting back the third race winner, number 3, Dinger 2, an 8-year-old bay gelding by Arts Cartrick. By Sherry McKinnon of Truro, trained and driven by Henry Smallwood. Dinger 2 and 2:04 and 4/5. As a result of the inquiry, the judges have deemed there was no violations. Race 3 is official. 1 Kendall Courageous 4th. 2 Pictonians Derby 2nd. 3 Dinger 2 the winner. 4 Scotian last. 6 5 Mock Believe 3rd. 6 Logan was 8th. Western Scott the 7 finished 5th, and 8 Super Shadow was 7th. The quarter 29 and 2, the half 59 and 4, 3 quarters and 131 and 3 in the mile and 204 and 4 fifths. Rechecking from the top, 421 638 57. 325 try returned $167.60. The exactor 3-2 combination 46.30. The early double 1-3, a $1 ticket $38.90, and the 20-cent superfecta combination of 3, 2, 5, and 1. It returned $234.69. Race 4 coming up, number 6 Fedora, a judge's scratch, and the 4 Giant Slayer has a bridle change open, hood with cups 2 closed. 4th race post in less than 7 minutes. Here's the field for the 4th race. Number 1, Don't Stand in My Way, owned and driven by Kenny Parker Jr. The 2 is Rockin' Party, owned by Ian Banks, Sue Carroll, and Charles McDonald. Danny Romo at the lines. Todd Trites from post 3 with Center Stage G, owned by Don Ellis Abbott and Donnie Ellis. Ian McDonald owns the 4 Giant Slayer. Dale Spence will catch drive. Silver Hill King is the 5 with Darren Crow driving for Don Ellis Abbott. 6 is scratched. 7, No You Didn't Blue Chip. Albany Mouse, Dave Carey in the driver's seat, and pick and scoop the 8, Paul Angel driving for Don Anderson. Post time for the 4th in 6 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. Final call at the windows. Only 1 minute. It's post time for the 4th race. Home Hardware Building Center starting gates now moving. Fourth race, top of the stretch, Don't Stand in My Way, Rockin' Party, Center Stage G, Giant Slayer, Silver Hill King, No You Didn't Blue Chip, and Pick and Scoop. They're off and pacing. Rockin' Party first off the wings of the gate, looking to grab the early lead. Don't Stand in My Way comes away second. Outside third, that's Giant Slayer. In out the rail and racing away in four is Center Stage G, followed in five by No You Didn't Blue Chip. Then back to Silver Hill King and Pick and Scoop is the early trailer. Into the backstretch for the first time as they head to the opening quarter. And out front, that's Rockin' Party by a length and a half. Don't Stand in My Way is the pocket sitter. Then looking at it from three is Giant Slayer, gapping out there in four is Center Stage G. Back to No You Didn't Blue Chip from five. The sixth one in line is Silver Hill King, and Pick and Scoop is sitting at the tail end as they race single file onto the 3/8. Inquiry sign is posted. Out front, it's Rockin' Party setting the early terms, leading it by a length and a quarter as they round the top turn. Don't Stand in My Way. In for the pocket journey second at the rail and racing along in the 3 spot as they move up past the halfway marker. That is Giant Slayer. No You Didn't Blue Chip. Starting up on the outside from four. Fifth inside is Center Stage G. Then back to Silver Hill King and Pick and Scoop. Can see them all as they race into the lower turn. The half 59 and 4/5 seconds. They're on their way past the 5/8 and into the backstretch. Still led by Rockin' Party. Don't Stand in My Way. Getting a two-hole journey. To the outside goes Giant Slayer from three. No You Didn't Blue Chip. The outside is gapped in the cover racing fourth. Then Center Stage G from five. Silver Hill King and Pick and Scoop. They arrive now at 3/4, and Rockin' Party's the one to catch, a length and a half to lead. Second is Don't Stand in My Way on the outside. Rockin' Party holds the lead a length and a half. Second out the rail, that is Don't Stand in My Way. Giant Slayer is the third one. No You Didn't Blue Chip racing in fourth. 1:31 and 1/3, less than an eighth to come as they move off the top turn. Rockin' Party's the one to catch, out there by two now. Don't Stand in My Way back second. Third is a Giant Slayer. On down the lane, it's Rockin' Party to win it. Second is Don't Stand in My Way, and finishing third, Giant Slayer. Inquiry in the fourth race involves number 3, Center Stage G, for a possible pylon violation in the first turn. Now fighting back, the fourth race winner, number 2, Rockin' Party, 3-year-old gelded son of Ameripan Gigolo, owned by Ian Banks, Sue Carroll, and Charles McDonald. Trained and driven by Danny Romo. Rockin' Party in 2:02 and 2/5. As a result of the inquiry, it was deemed that number 3 Center Stage G did go inside of 2 consecutive pylons in the first turn and was lapped down at the wire by the 7 No You Didn't Blue Chip. Therefore, Center Stage G finished 4th, will be placed 5th. Fourth race is now official. 1 Don't Stand in My Way was second. 2 Rockin' Party the winner. 3 Center Stage G finished 4th, placed 5th for a pylon violation. 4 Giant Slayer 3rd. 5 Silver Hill King 6. 6 was scratched. 7 No You Didn't Blue Chip 5th, placed 4th. And 8 Pick and Scoop 7. Quarter 29, a half 59 and 4. 3 quarters and 131 and 1. The mile 202 and 2. Top down after the placings. Your card is 215, 36 scratched, 47. The 214 fourth race try, $38.80. The 2-1 exactor, $8.80. Fifth race coming up. No changes in race 5. Post time in 8 minutes. Here are the fifth race entries. Fillies and Mares event. Number 1, Flying Penelope, owned by Chuck Symes, Bernard McCollum driving. Kirk Perez drives the 2 Elm Grove Maddie for Steve Morton. Gren's Little Flirt is the 3. She's owned and driven by Clayton Stevens. Ernie Laughlin will drive number 4 All Country for Michelle Patrickin. Glenview Natalie is the 5. Owned by Adam Johnson. Todd Trunks will drive. Post time in 6 minutes. Less than 3 minutes to post. Now less than 2 minutes. Final call to make your selections on the 5th, only 1 minute. Mares are now moving up behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. It's 5th race post time. Five fillies and mares behind the gate for the 5th race. Flying Penelope, Elm Grove, Maddie, Grin's Little Flirt, All Country, and Glenview Natalie. Rough start there for Flying Penelope from the outside. Glenview Natalie inside. That's Grin's Little Flirt. Also driving out is All Country. Then Elm Grove Matty at the rail. He emerges in 4, and gapped out of the back 5th is Flying Penelope. They head by the opening 8th on their way into the backstretch for the first time, and they're led by Grin's Little Flirt out there by 2.5. All Country giving chase second. Elm Grove Matty is the third one, back in 4. That's Glenview Natalie. And 5th and sitting at the back, Flying Penelope. They arrive at that opening station with Grin's Little Flirt continuing to show the way. Closing the gap now in the 2 spot is All Country. Followed closely out the rail third by Elm Grove Matty. And looking at it from 4 is Glenview Natalie. And 5th and sitting at the back, Flying Penelope. 30 seconds was the quarter. No change. There's still single file as they round the top turn, entering the stretch, approaching the half. Grin's Little Flirt continuing on the front end. Getting a good journey in the 2 spot is All Country. Then Elm Grove Matty is pacing along in 3. Looking at it from 4 as they race into the lower turn. That is Glenview Natalie. And Flying Penelope continues to sit at the back. They race on to the 5-8. Still no movement. 101 and 2 was the half. They're led into the backstretch by Grin's Little Flirt. All Country is content to follow along in the pocket. Now the first to sacrifice. Here comes Elm Grove Matty charging up uncovered third. Followed on the outside by Glenview Natalie in 4. They race on past the 3/4 and driving up to take over. That is Elm Grove Matty taking over the lead, opening up by 2. Outside now second is Glenview Natalie. To the outside in 3 goes All Country, dropping back at the rail in 4 is Grin's Little Flirt, and 5th is Flying Penelope. They race to 3/4, 1:33 and 2 was the 3/4 off the top turn. They straighten out for the stretch drive. Elm Grove Matty now must deal with Glenview Natalie, who's pressuring on the outside. Elm Grove Matty on the outside is Glenview Natalie. Elm Grove Matty rebuffs the challenge of Glenview Natalie to win it by 2.5, 3. Finishing third is All Country. Now putting back in front of the grandstand, the 5th race winner, number 2, Elm Grove Matty, 3-year-old bay filly by Stonebridge Terror. Owned by Steve Morton of Windsor, trained by Nick White, driven by Kirk Paris. Elm Grove Matty, 2:04 3/5. Fifth race is official. 1 Flying Penelope fifth, 2 Elm Grove Maddie the winner, 3 Grins Little Flirt fourth, 4 All Country third, and 5 Glenview Natalie second. Quarter 30 seconds, the half 101 and 2, 3 quarters and 133 and 2, the mile in 204 and 3/5. Top down 51432. 254 try in the fifth race, $29.80. The 25 exactor $9.70. Race 6 coming up. Number 1 Ultimate Flying Nun has been scratched sick, and the 5 Electric Sil with a bridle change open, hood with cups 2 closed. Post time for race 6 is in 8 minutes. Here's the field for race 6. Number 1 has been scratched. 2 Desir d'Orléans, Omadon Ellis Abbott with Walter Chevrolet catch driving. Don Ellis Abbott, also the owner of 3 Good Friday 3 with Todd Trites aboard. Ernie Laughlin for Gregory Francis on 4 Jasmo. 5 is Electric Sil, owned by Andrea and Ryder Matthews Renison with Dale Spence at the helm. Doug Polly Jr. owns and drives the 6 Brookdale Gym. Doug Polly Sr. co-owner. Badlandia of the 7. Darren Crow will steer for Paula White. And Kenny Parker Jr. driving the 8 Putnam's New Year. He's owned by Leslie and Linda Parker. Post time in 5 minutes. Only 3 minutes, 3 to post time. We're down to 2 minutes, 2 to post time. Final call to make your selections on race 6. We're down to 1 minute. It's 6th race post time. Home Hardware Building Center starting gate is now moving. Race number 6 of the afternoon has Desir d'Orleans, Good Friday 3, Jasmo, Electric Sill, Brookdale Jim, Badlandia, and Putnam's New Year. They're off and pacing, and quickly off the wings is Jasmo to grab the early lead as they race into the first turn. Desir d'Orleans comes away second. Good Friday 3, the outside third. Then away in the fourth spot as they head by the opening eighth and race into the backstretch is Electric Sill, followed by Badlandia. Then back racing in 6 as they enter the backstretch is Putnam's New Year, and the trailer is Brookdale Jim. Single file as they race to the opening quarter, and up front now that's Good Friday 3 with the lead. A length and a quarter is the margin on the pocket sitter Jasmo. Then at the rail third, that's Desir d'Orleans. Electric Sill holding down the 4 spot. Back to Badlandia, who looks at it from 5. In 6 is Putnam's New Year. Only one beaten. That is Brookdale Jim as they continue off the turn. 29 and 4 was that opening quarter. No change. They're still single file as they race into the stretch, approaching the half. And Good Friday 3 continues to chart the path, getting a perfect journey in the pocket second as they move past the halfway marker. That is Jasmo. Third at the rail is Desir d'Orleans. Then fourth is Electric Sill. Back in 5 for Badlandia. Then sixth is Putnam's New Year and Brookdale Jim into the lower turn. Next stop, the 5/8, the half 101 and 2, and they're still led by Good Friday 3. Right there, second is Jasmo. Desir d'Orleans is pacing along in the 3 spot, now working first up into 4. That is Badlandia. That will flush out Desir d'Orleans as they approach the 3 quarters. Good Friday 3, still the boss. Second is Jasmo outside Desir d'Orleans, racing third. Picking up cover on the limb, Badlandia fourth, inside Electric Sill. Then Putnam's New Year and Brookdale Jim is still trailing. 132 and 1/3. Good Friday 3 is the one to catch. Outside is Desir d'Orleans. Caught in the pocket and awaiting the passing lane. Jasmo is a third. Then Electric Sill, Badlandia the outside. They turn down the lane for the final time. And it's still Good Friday 3. Desir d'Orleans on the outside. Jasmo in the passing lane. Good Friday 3 will prevail. Finishing a second is Jasmo. It's tight for third. Now back the 6th race winner, number 3, Good Friday 3, 6-year-old gelding by Mach 3. Owned by Don Ellis Abbott, trained by Donnie Ellis, driven by Todd Trites. Good Friday 3, 203 and 2/5. Race 6 is official. 1 was scratched, 2 Desert already on 5th. 3 Good Friday, 3 the winner. 4 Jasmo 2nd, 5 Electric Sill 4th, 6 Brookdale Jim 7, 7 Badlandia 3rd, 8 Putnam's New Year 6th. Quarter 29 and 4, the half 101 and 2, 3 quarters and 132 and 1, the mile in 203 and 2/5. Top down, your card is scratched 512 4736. 347 try in race 6, $128.10. The 3-4 exactor, $560. Coming up in the 7th race, we have no changes to report in race 7. They'll go to the gate in 8 minutes. Here now is the field for race 7, number 1 Eastern Exposure, owned by Jeff Skinner, Danny Romo driving. Don Ellis Abbott and Jeff Ellis, the owners of 2 Montreal Phil, Darren Crow-Up. Robert Laffin drives the 3 Salisbury Quick for owners Cindy and Joey Green. Glenview Paisley from post 4, Dave Carey in the driver's seat for Ron Harris. Kirk Paris sits behind the 5, Stature Sealster for the CC Stables. Donnie Ellis owns the 6, Rod and Golddigger, with Todd Trites at the controls. The 7 is Brookdale Buster, owned by Doug Polly Jr. and Sr., Jr. driving. And the 8 is Stars Above. Ernie Laffin will catch drive for Kurt Harper and Bria Harper. Post time for the 7th in 6 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. Now less than 2 minutes to post time. Final call at the windows, only 1 minute. Home Hardware Building Center starting gate on the move for the 7th race. It's post time. Seventh race of the afternoon, Eastern Exposure, Montreal Phil, Salisbrook Quick, Glenview Paisley, Stature Sealster, Rod and Gold Digger, Brookdale Buster, and Stars Above. They're off and pacing away quickly. Montreal Phil, Stature Sealster living alertly down the center of the track as they race into the first turn. That is Stature Sealster driving on to take over. Montreal Phil is away second at the rail. Eastern Exposure is the third one. On the limb from 4 is Stars Above at the rail in 5 for Glenview Paisley. Then racing 6th as they start down the backstretch for time 1. That's Rod and Gold Digger. Followed in the 7th spot by Salisbrook Quick and the early trailer is Brookdale Buster. They arrive at the quarter, and that's Stature Sealster on the front end, leading by a length and a half. Montreal Phil in the garden spot, parked out and racing third. That is Stars Above at the rail in 4 for Eastern Exposure. Then the 5th one is Glenview Paisley. Back in 6, Rod and Gold Digger, Salisbrook Quick, and still trailing is Brookdale Buster. 29-1 was the opening quarter. They race on through the stretch as they approach the halfway point. Stature Sealster continuing on the front end. Stars Above going the long overland trip. Parked out second at the rail. Montreal Phil is racing third. To the outside goes Eastern Exposure from 4. Fifth along the rail. That is Glenview Paisley. Then back to Rodden Golddigger, followed by Salisbrook Quick. And still trailing is Brookdale Buster. They continue on to the backside. Final time, the half a minute, 1/5 second. On their way to three quarters. Stature Sealster still there. A length and a half to the good. Second is Montreal Phil. Stars Above backing off a bit there. Third. That force is 3 high for Eastern Exposure. They race past the three quarters. It's still Stature Sealster. Stars Above hanging around to the outside. Back on for second now. Montreal Phil a trap third. 3 high from 4. That is Eastern Exposure. 1:30-1 was the three quarters. On 8th left to come as they move off the top turn. Stature Sealster still there. Stars Above going a huge strip on the outside. Is taking over the lead as they straighten out for the stretch drive. Stars Above, Montreal Phil in the passing lane. Stars Above, Montreal Phil. Stars Above will win it. Second is Montreal Phil. Eastern Exposure third. Ejection has been lodged in race 7 by the driver of 3, Salisbury Quick, against the driver of 4, Glenview Paisley, for a possible infraction past the three quarters. Now back in victory lane, the 7th race winner, number 8 Stars Above, 8-year-old gelded son of 4 Stars Shark, all by Kurt and Bria Harper. Trained by Kurt Harper and driven by Ernie Laughlin, Stars Above. Parked out every step of the way to win in 2:02 1/5. The winner in today's Chase the Ace draw was Bobby Glode. Bobby, if you could check with the race office, please. Seventh race objection has been upheld. Number 4, Glenview Paisley, finished 4th, placed 8th for causing interference to number 3, Salisbury Quick, approaching the 7/8. Here is the complete rundown of race 7. 1 Eastern Exposure 3rd, 2 Montreal Phil 2nd, 3 Salisbury Quick finished 8th, placed 7th, 4 Glenview Paisley finished 4th, placed 8th for causing interference to Salisbury Quick, 5 Stature Sealster 6th, placed 5th, 6 Rodden Golddigger was 5th, placed 4th, 7 Brookdale Buster 7th, and 8 Stars Above the winner. The quarter 29 and 1, the half a minute 1/5, 3/4 in 1:30 and 1, the mile 2:02 and 1. Top down after the placings in the 7th race. Your current should read 327.854 6 and 1. The 8-2-1 try in race 7, 167.50, 8 all exactors, 42.10. Coming up in races 8 and 9, the late double in the 8th race, number 5 Instant Shadow, scratched sick. And in the 9th race, please note race 9 will feature super effective wagering. Post time for race 8 in 8 minutes. Here now is the field for the 8th race, number 1 Woodmere Ideal Art with the Ultimate Stable. Robert Laughlin driving. 2 is Rambling Lily. Todd Trites up for Alan Jones and Norm Legier. 3 is No Great Mischief, owned and driven by Walter Chevrolet, co-owner Brian Thompson. William Shearer, Sonny Seidman, and Charlie Piper are the owners of 4 Catch 22. Darren Crow will drive. The 5 is Scratched. 6 Distinctive Rusty. Dale Spence aboard for Andrea and rider Matthews Runnison. And number 7 is Rusty Roddy on Dana Ghetto and Chantel Gillis. Paul Angel in the sulky. Post time in 6 minutes. Dave Carey, check with the paddock office, please. Less than 3 minutes. Down to 2 minutes, 2 to post time. Last call, less than 1 minute left to wager. It's 8th race post time. Entries are lining up behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. Race number 8 of the afternoon, Woodmere Ideal Art, Rambling Lily, No Great Mischief, Catch 22, Distinctive Rusty, and Rusty Rally. They're off and pacing. Distinctive Rusty quick away. At the rail is Woodmere Ideal Art. Woodmere Ideal Art quickly takes the top spot. Rambling Lily on the inside gets away in the pocket. Distinctive Rusty will have to settle for third. Away in the 4 spot is No Great Mischief. Back there in 5 is Catch 22. And the early trotter Rusty Roddy. Into the backstretch. First time as they head single file the opening quarter. Up front, Woodmere Ideal Art will determine the early fractions, leading it by a length and a quarter. Sitting tight up is Rambling Lily in the pocket second, followed closely third by Distinctive Rusty. And looking at it from 4, that's No Great Mischief. Next in line and sitting in 5 is Catch 22, and at the back is Rusty Roddy, 29 and 1 the quarter. No change, just they make their way past the 3/8 and continue off the top turn. Woodmere Ideal Art still on the front end as they approach the halfway point. Now has the lead by 2.5. Racing along second, that's Rambling Lily. Outside and moving first up from 3 is No Great Mischief. Sitting at the rail in 4 is the race into the lower turn, Distinctive Rusty, then Catch 22 and Rusty Roddy into the lower turn. Onto the 5/8 they head. Woodmere Ideal Art still out there by 2. Second, Rambling Lily. Trying it first up, No Great Mischief is working up to third. 59 and 3 was the half. At the rail in 4, Distinctive Rusty. Catch 22 starts up from 5, and Rusty Roddy still trails. They arrive now at the 3/4 mile mark, and it's Woodmere Ideal Art. Closing in a bit there second is No Great Mischief. At the rail pacing third, that is Rambling Lily. Catch 22 is gapped in the cover sitting fourth. They head past the 7/8 now. No Great Mischief up alongside Woodmere Ideal Art. 129 and 2.75. They turn for home, and No Great Mischief on the outside. At the rail is Woodmere Ideal Art. Down the stretch they come. Woodmere Ideal Art outside. No Great Mischief. No Great Mischief will nail it at the line. Second is Woodmere Ideal Art. Third for Rambling Lily. Operating back is the 8th race winner, number 3, No Great Mischief, 7-year-old bay gelding by Better's Delight. Owned by Brian Thompson and Walter Chevrolet, trained and driven to victory by Walter. No Great Mischief, pacing in 159 in 4/5. Race 8 is now official. 1 Woodmere Ideal Art second, 2 Rambling Lily third, 3 No Great Mischief the winner. 4 Catch 22, 6 5 was scratched, 6 Distinctive Rusty fourth, and 7 Rusty Roddy fifth. 29 and 1 was the quarter, the half 59 and 3, 3 quarters and 129 and 2, and the mile and 159 and 4 fifths. From the top, 2 3 1, 6 scratched, 4 5. 3-1-2 try in race 8, 27.10. The 3-1 exactor, $43.40. Ninth and final coming up. No program changes to report. It will feature superfecta wagering in race 9. Most time is in 8 minutes. And now the starters for the ninth and final. Number 1 is SF Razzmatazz, owned by Mark and Barry Whidden. Mark drives. Kirk Paris driving 2 Walbert for the CC Stables. I-47 from post 3 gets Mark Webby for Roy Burton. 4 is Global Sealster, owned by Andrea and rider Matthews Runnison. Dale Spence in charge. Paul Angel sits behind 5 Arizona Bucks for owner Phil Pinckney. Lee Raymond owns the 6 Charlie Drummond. Darren Crow in the seat. Henry Smallwood for Robbie Smallwood on 7 NS Acadian. And the 8 Jerry's Beach. Ernie Laughlin will drive for owner Kerry Saunders. Post time in 6 minutes. Only 3 minutes, 3 to post time. Now less than 2 minutes. Final call, less than 1 minute. View for the 9th and final, now moving up behind the Home Hardware Building Center starting gate. It's post time. Ninth and final, top of the stretch, SF Razzmatazz, Walbert, I-47, Global Sealster, Arizona Bucks, Charlie Drummond, MS Acadian, and Jerry's Beach. They're off and pacing. Away quickly is I-47 looking to grab the early lead. Out the rail, SF Razzmatazz away second. The far outside, Jerry's Beach leaves it early. He is on the outside, a third. Out the rail in four. That is Walbert coming away in the 5 spot. Global Sealster is unhurried. Then back there in 6 for Arizona Bucks, the 7th away. Charlie Drummond, and out the back of the field on a Circadian. They race on through the backstretch for the first time, and up front, it's SF Razzmatazz on the lead. Outside second, I-47 out the rail and racing in 3. That is Walbert. Looking at it from 4 is Jerry's Beach. Back in 5 for Global Sealster, who looks to the outside. Then racing along in 6, Arizona Bucks, followed by Charlie Drummond. And NS Acadian back in 8. 29-3 was the quarter. They move off the top 10, entering the stretch as they approach the half. SF Razzmatazz is charting the path, leading it by half a length. Parked and going the long overland trip second. That is I-47 in the pocket third. That is Walbert. Out with cover now is Global Sealster pacing along in 4. Fifth, trapped at the rail, is Jerry's Beach. Out and moving in 6. Arizona Bucks back in 7. That is Charlie Drummond, and NS Acadian is still the 8th one. 101-2 was the half. On to the backside for the final time. SF Razzmatazz leads them on to 3/4. Walbert to the inside second. I-47 is third. Global Sealster is now tipping 3 high fourth. They approach 3/4. SF Razzmatazz. Here comes Global Sealster. Now attacking 3 wide. On for third is I-47. Walbert all done backing off. Up on the outside moving into 4th. That is Arizona Bucks. They continue on to the 7/8. SF Razzmatazz. Global Sealster on the outside. Then I-47 at the rail is third. Arizona Bucks racing 4th. 1:32 and 4 3/4. They turn down the lane final time and led home by SF Razzmatazz. Global Sealster in pursuit second, but it's SF Razzmatazz, and he will win the finale, finishing second. Global Sealster. Hanging on for third is I-47. Fighting back, the 9th race winner, number 1 SF Razamataz, 12-year-old black-gilded son of Cam Terrific, owned by Mark and Barry Whidden, trained and driven to victory by Mark. SF Razamataz winning the finale in 2:03 2/5.